Hi there guys, Rick from the Blackstone Punishers again. The new MILSIG mags, oh my days, they are lovely. They are lovely bits of kit. We're going to take one apart today to show you how to maintain it. Simple screwdriver, no caps to pop out, just a few turns on a screw. Nice and easy. Get that off to one side. Okay, bit of pressure just to hold it into place, otherwise you lose all sorts of bits. Okay, so shut off. There we go. And there is the inside. Obviously, the spring needs to feed the balls under tension, so the spring is longer than is what needed, but you know, that's how it goes. Take the top end out. Very nice block there. First strike compatible, might I add. This is very, very nice. They actually run a special way down through the tube, down through the magazine, so as they go in the front end, they come down sitting straight, and then they turn on their sides to go around. So when you actually put them in on their sides normally, they turn around and they fall in on their nose end, I think, and go down and round. So the bottom end here will actually feed like a normal paintball will. Less jams. Bonus. Got a nice little paddle on the top end there, just to hold your paintballs in place. It's pink, giggity. Up here we have the main mechanism of the mag. We just pluck this one out here. There's a couple of pins, as you can see there, just fall out of place. I'm just going to stick them over to one side. In here you'll see there's a piece moving about here. Very important. This stops the magazine from going wrong. Okay, I will get to it in just 1 second, but it's a very important piece of plastic. Okay, one thing about these, when you take them out, the spring will go into the mechanism. Just make sure that that's not caught up in any cogs or anything. You'll probably ruin it. Haven't had any problems myself just yet. So, empty shells. Again, there is just a slight touch of lube in there, obviously because of the mechanism itself, but it's not going to affect anything. Right, so putting it back together. With the mechanism in hand, we're going to load it into this side here, just because right here we've got a rest plate for the top end of the spring to go into, just so it doesn't actually go into the mechanism itself. Just here. Little groove cut in it for the main wire to run through. Right, so when we actually load it in, you need your 2 pins in first, just into 2 little holes at the top of the cutout there, and then the mechanism sits on it that way round. This bit of plastic here with the 2 grooves cut into it, you slide it in above the wheel, just here, and that just slides into place. And then you line up your holes in the plastic with the holes in the mechanism, and then they sit nicely back down onto the top of the pins. Just sit that nicely into place, not going anywhere. The string that comes through is actually a coated wire that comes through, put over and into the little groove in that rest plate, just there, and then the spring itself can sit up against that rest plate quite nicely. Now, many people have different variations of putting mags back together. I'm going to show you the way I do it. It's a little bit quicker than most, I seem to think, at the moment. What I tend to do, lay the spring into place, put a little bit of tension on the spring so you don't have to hold it. Right, so once your spring is in place and you've got it held, you can grab your other shell case and you can just sit that into place nicely on top there, and then you can let this spring go. It's all guided inside anyway. So when you get your mag out, put your guide in to the connection, and I just tend to sit mine just inside, so when I lift this shell with just a little bit, just enough to get that in there, there we go, again. There we go, sat in nicely. Okay, and it's just a case of turning it over, putting the screws back in. The screws are quite tight, guys. Don't worry if you think you're cross-threading them. 9 times out of 10 you are not cross-threading them. They are just a little bit tight. They're obviously new mags. Makes life easier as well. They're not going to come back out. Once you've assembled the magazine back together, on the side here is your turning handle. Wind it all the way back down, just to make sure you've got no jams in the spring. You haven't caught the spring anywhere. Okay, so that goes down nicely, and then the release mechanism here, just to release it, and it is all there perfectly in place, nice and simple. Well done, MILSIG, you've made a very nice mag there.